Hey guys, it's your week 2 recap. Sorry it's late. I had a really rough Monday. Big shouts out to Brett and Josh on helping me change a tire. Appreciate that. Means a lot. But let's get into this recap for sure. In our matchup of the week, we had Derek take down Victor 9-1. Big shocker for me. I had Victor winning, but Victor was second, I think, power rankings last week. Derek was fourth. Derek showing that, hey, I'm for real this year. Still wishing he'd trade me Bledsoe, but that ain't happen. Uh, I think Victor just had a really bad week. Hopefully his team can bounce back here in week 3, but we'll find out. Um, Rest of the matchups, Josh with another triple double this week. The only person that actually has one now has two. Takes down John 750. Very impressive outing from John though on his half. I thought I projected it much worse than that. Um, so John, the team's got to be improving. Only power rankings will tell, but much, much, much closer than I anticipated. Um, I actually won. I beat Callie. Ha. Won 651. Can't believe it, but big shocker. I think that's probably the biggest shocker of the week. Like, wow, yeah, yeah, like that kind of serious. Um, Callie had a really good week as well. It wasn't like her team didn't come out and produce. My team actually did something for a change. I don't know if that'll be consistent, but Callie, I'm pretty sure will be high in power rankings, but we'll find out. Heath with the big win, big, huge win over Brandon, who's possibly the weakest person in our league right now. Took him down 8-2-2. I think Brandon's got to get rid of someone off his team. Do a 2-for-1 for Dim Cousins or a 2-for-1 for KD. He's got to do something to help his team out, add some depth. But until then, I won't probably project him to win many games or categories at all. But Heath, I think with that win, boosted him up to first in the West Division. I think he's in. So, but we'll get to that in standings as well. Um, Brett bounced back and beat Cody. I projected Cody to win. Cody was second, third, something like that in power rankings last week. Cody had a really good first week as a rookie. Um, but you shouldn't take that loss as hard to heart. You were playing the champ. Brett always has a good team. So big win for Brett, winning 8-3-1. Bounces back, gets himself right on the right track is where he was wanting. So that's great. Great for Brett. Sean beat Rusty as I projected. I don't know if I projected at 651, might have been 741 or something. It was something close to that. His pickup acquisition carried him to a win, as I figured it would, but Rusty still kept it close. But both teams did not look good at all. But they could be higher in power rankings. I never know until we get to the end of this video. Keep you waiting. But Rusty does need to do something with his team. They're just not producing. It could just be they're not producing right now. Could be getting better. Maybe he has faith in his team. Um, this is Tuesday, so we do have two trades that are already going through. So, hey, I'm happy that we got some trades going through. I'm not a part of any of them, which sucks, but, hey, congratulations to them 4 people that are actually trading. I like that. Moving on to week 3, matchup of the week is going to be Josh versus Brandon. I want to put Brandon on the spot because his team is absolutely terrible. Maybe he'll do something if I do this for him, but probably not. Playing Josh, I'm gonna give Josh 7-3-2 in this. So, maybe Brandon will prove me wrong and win. So, I hope so, but probably not. Rest of the league, Brett's playing Rusty. Brett's gonna win big. He's got to. His team's coming together. He's gonna win 9-1 in my eyes. It could be worse. It could be less. Rusty, if he wins, big. Probably that'll be the biggest upset all week long if he pulls that off. Sean's playing Callie. Even with Sean's daily acquisitions, I'm going to give Callie the edge 7-4-1. I still think her team will pull it. She's got, if y'all haven't been paying attention, Andre Drummond's a monster. I think he's averaging, 20 rebounds, 19 points something. He's averaging more rebounds than points. He's killing it right now. He's crazy. Best person to have in fantasy right now for sure. But yeah, like I said, her 7-4-1 in this week, which will be a great rebound for Callie, considering she lost to me. Um, Victor's playing Heath. This was possibly the other matchup I wanted to go with for matchup of the week if I didn't want to put Brandon on the spot, because I think it's going to be a really close matchup. and it's going to be between two people that live together. So it's going to be a fun week over there. And not to mention, outside of this league, Heath just beat Victor in fantasy football last week after Victor ran his mouth that he was going to beat him. So it's going to be a great week for them two living together. But I'm going to give Heath, or no, I'm actually going to give Victor the edge 7-5-0. I think his team will rebound and get back on track. But, like I said, Heath will get a triple double. It's got to happen. It's going to. Derek's playing John. John had a good week last week, but Derek's team is playing really well. I think he wins 8-3-1. Um, these rookies usually do better than they're doing. So, but I'm sorry, John, but I will project you to lose again, 8-3-1. I play Cody. Cody, another rookie. Actually going to project myself to win for the first time of the year. Not too big. 6-5-1 has been, that's what I'm going to project, but that's also been, I've either won 6-5-1 or lost 6-5-1 for 2 straight weeks. So I might as well just stay on that trend of me winning 6-5-1 this week. But Cody's team has a lot of upside, probably the best team of all the rookies. He has 3 point guards, which are top notch: John Wall, Damian Lillard, and Mike Conley. I think that's his first name. I really don't know. But I think if Cody could ship one of them out for something to help his team out, I think he could really have maybe the team to beat by the end of the year. I'm not saying give them up for anything cheap by any means. Uh, Outside of the matchups for this week, I did send out a bunch of trades this week. Received several trades as well. My trades that I sent out weren't very serious. It's just people that I'm trying to show you that I want. I had Rusty send me a trade for Paul George. Not trying to get rid of Paul George. I like him. But I am trying to get rid of Jimmy Butler. I did receive 2 trades today. Tried to counter them. Didn't really happen. But I'm still working on it. If anyone wants anyone off my team, feel free to hit me up. Send me something. Well, we can work something out unless you don't want anyone, which I can't blame you if you don't. But moving on the standings, I'm moving power rankings to the very end to keep everyone very anxious. But first will be Derek. He has the best record, and he's first in the East with a 17-5-2 record. Second is Heath, first in the West, 14-8-2. That's probably the highest Heath's ever been so far, and that's only his second year, but he did not start off very good last year, so that's a great improvement from last year already for Heath. Move down to Callie, she's 12-9-3. Down to Sean at fourth, 12-10-2. Fifth is Josh at 13-11. Still no ties for Josh, which is awesome. Love that. Sixth is Brett, 11-10-3, champion, middle of the pack with his record. Lots of things are going to change. We got 17 more weeks of no, probably not 17, but something close to that. Probably 16 more weeks of this. So records are going to be crazy. Then a 3-way tie for 7th with Victor, myself, and Cody, all at 11-11-2, which we're at 50%. That's great. Hey, not negative. Move down to 10th, which is our first losing record at Rusty, 8-14-2. 11th is John, 7-16-1. Move down to the very bottom where Brandon sits and might sit for the rest of the year if he don't do something, 5-16-3. Last year, I think only 2 or 3 teams actually finished with 50% record or better last year, which was crazy because that's never happened before. We had so many. It was very tight last year, and we had so many all bad record teams. I don't know how to word it, but 3 teams only finished with a winning record last year, which was crazy. Get to what most of you people probably watch this for is the power rankings to see how your team did against everyone this week. Remember, this is a week-by-week thing. It doesn't matter what your team did last week. It only matters what you did this week. Start off the power rankings. The champ has returned to the top. He would have beat out second place, which was me this week, surprisingly, 5-4-3. So we would have been a heck of a matchup last week. But Brett did top out at 1. As I just said, I followed up at 2. Derek sits at 3, which I just said Brett would have beat me 5-4-3. I would have only beat Derek 5-4-3 as well last week. So Derek's a very close second, probably a very close first as well. Didn't compare him and Brett. Well, yeah, I did because Brett could have beat everybody. Then we move down to 4th where Callie sits. Like I said, Callie's team played good. She just got unlucky that she played a better team this week. 5th was Heath. Big, good job for Heath in the top 5 of teams this past week. Hopefully he can keep it up and have a great year because he definitely wants to have it. 6th is Cody, our first rookie, which is great because it's 2 straight weeks where Cody has set in the top 6. So that's great for Cody. Hopefully he can make his team a little better and be, maybe one and just lead it for a while. Move down to seventh where Victor sits. Victor, I talked to him. He said his team sucks all week. Couldn't believe he lost to Derek, but it happens. But still, seventh ain't bad. I mean, yeah, it's bottom, but still seventh. Eighth is Sean. Like I said, he did not have a good week. His team didn't produce. I think he's got to stop on the matchup acquisition picking up. I think he's just got to find some guys and stick with them for a little bit. Maybe make a trade of his own. I'm sure he will. It's Sean. He'll make 3, 4, or 5 trades by the middle of the year and definitely help his team out. Very competitive. Moving down the 9 with Josh. Winning record 13-11, like I mentioned, but not a very good week for Josh at all. Then 10th was John. I don't know. I think John might have been last week, so that's a great improvement for John up from 12th to 10th. So, I mean, hey, there's some improvement there. 11th is Rusty, one of the people I was high on at the start of the year, and I know he thought he had a really good team because he made his team name money over bad draft picks. So, it's not really showing right now. I'm trying to be critical on Rusty, so hopefully he makes a move. 12th was Brandon. His team would have got almost destroyed by everyone's. I think I could have beat him 10-1-1. I'm sure Brett could have done the same. It's not good if you're going to get beat 10-1-1. Brandon needs to make a move, as I've mentioned before. Hopefully he will, or he might just sit down there all year. But like I said, every team makes the playoffs, so that's fantastic. Biggest movers of them power rankings, and the positive was myself. I was 11th last week, moved up to second, so I had a big improvement last week, or everyone else's team just sucked. Probably the biggest downfall, I really don't know. Honestly, looking at this, I would say Rusty, but I don't know where he was at last week. But I don't know if he was that far down. I mean, that's 11th. That's one from last. Um, what I'm gonna start doing. Last year I had guessed matchup picks. Man, you guys pick the matchups each week. This year I'm gonna do the same thing starting next week. I'm actually going to try. Obviously, I can't do it with a Rusty. Um, I'm sorry, Brett just texted me and told me to get used to him being on top of the power ranking, so that's a message for you guys as well. But I'm gonna start getting one person each week to come in when I project the schedules, and they'll project what they think as well, and then they can leave, or I can leave their house or whatever. I just want some more interaction through everyone. Sucks for Rusty, but I'll still get his projections whenever it's his time to do it, and I'll give you his projections. This poll this week, it's not up yet, but it will be soon after I put this video up. It's going to be who is going to be the first person that does this with me. Most people are going to vote for themselves. Obviously, my vote's probably going to be the one that matters. And Rusty's for sure because, like I said, he can't come, so he probably won't use his vote on himself. Which if he does, that'll be funny. I think 10 people voted again on polls last week, which is great. 10 out of 12 are voting on polls 2 straight weeks, so that's awesome for the league. We're getting a lot of feedback through everyone. So need some more trash talk. I mean, maybe if Rusty was banging people, he'd be trash talking, but maybe when he wins big over someone really good, he can. But hey, until next time, I'll see you here next week. Good luck to everyone in week 3. Hope all y'all lose but me.